Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lazy Cat Reactions. This is episode 9 of season 12 of Heartland, titled Long Road Back. A drugged racehorse proves a challenge for Amy and Ty, who must look to an unexpected source for help. So obviously this is pretty much picking up where the last episode ended. Obviously they are going to get help for Star. And as I said in the last episode, if Laura was threatening to go to the press first. That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have told her because then, she would have probably run out and gone. But next place I would have gone as soon as I left is I would have just gone right to the press. So I'm wondering if this unexpected source is going to be Val Stanton. Because, she said that everyone does it even if it's not legal. And I'm thinking bullshit, not everyone does it. But yeah, an unexpected source is kind of making it sound like it's going to be Val Stanton. So I have a feeling, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be someone completely new, someone I'm just not expecting at all. But that definitely would be an unexpected source. And I think Georgie will be okay. I don't think that they would have written her to get this far and just drop the storyline, I think she'll make it and go to Europe. Let's get started. Go. Kind of nice that this one starts right away, right after the last one ended. Not really a gap of time.
Okay, it's us. You can do this, Star.
Really? So then what would you plan to do after that, after the one more
That's your Star. Where's your Star? I decided she's good to go.
Well, you're going to be fired.
Besides, you're too late.
Yeah, I would have said, you're not going to be in charge much longer because the owner will be firing you.
You're putting Star's life in danger. What's wrong with you?
It could be that if she made that move now, then that woman would be like, no, Laura's completely lying. Because it's easier when it's just the three of them, but now that there's a witness involved, which is, of course, smart of Ty to do, it makes it a little harder. Although, as I said...
across Canada and the U.S.
Let me guess. Checking out grocery stores?
Yeah, but you'd be amazed at how much I've learned. And even borrowed. There's this one time, I was in Des Moines, and I found this little mom-and-pop operation, or so I thought.
Yeah.
Their refrigeration system, it blew me away.
Not bad.
Yep, comes back to bite her. Because she's not eating, she's pushing herself. At least she managed to stay on, because they said it was the fastest time, and Peter's all like, she's going to Europe. And I like what Lou was saying about going to Europe in the winter to watch her daughter. So it sounds like Georgie will do some of that away, but then maybe at some point, like Peter and Lou will go and join her, which is cool. But I hope Star will be okay. I've heard that when animals don't eat, that's never a good sign. We have a senior cat. My husband calls him geriatric because he's probably like 17, I think. And like a month and a half ago, I had a scare. I thought, shit, for sure he was dying. Because he was, kind of hiding. He wasn't eating. And I remember going to bed that night, and I was almost at the point where I was just going to come downstairs and lie with him. So in case something did happen, he wasn't alone. And just as I was getting ready to get up, he hopped up on the bed. And the next day he ate. And he's done this before where he kind of sniffs the food and walks away. Although with him, I think it's just that he's a spoiled brat and just gets tired of the same food. And so he goes on a little hunger strike, basically saying, Mama, give me new food. And so I don't know what was his problem that day. You know, maybe he just wasn't feeling well. I mean, you know, they get little colds and stuff too. So maybe for whatever reason, maybe the weather was affecting him. He just wasn't feeling it. So, but he's fine. But, you know, I always keep an eye on him. And also with my cats, I make sure they wash too, because that's another sign. If they don't eat, if they don't wash, then those are red flags. But as long as they do that, they're fine. So they're giving Shooting Star fluids. So that's a good thing. So hopefully she'll be okay. And I do like that they had the acupuncture and she did that because, you know, at first they weren't exactly positive about it, but it does seem we'll let them do the cattle, especially since Tim had already talked to the one guy who will let them do it.
Anyway, Peter's waiting for me. We're gonna go have a chat with Kim.
That's not going to go well.
Thank you for your text. I'm so glad she's okay. No, she's not okay, Kim. None of this is okay.
Said no, she was going to go again. Kim even told her to rest. Kim would not have said, don't eat, you know, don't get enough sleep. Those are essential, especially when competing. Yes, it's important, but, you know, if she had, like, say, had that tuna melt and then, you know, given it time to digest and then went out for another run or something, she would have energy and she would burn it off. She probably would have burned it off anyways, given how much she's been competing and practicing and everything. Makes me think of Michael Phelps. I remember when he was competing in the Olympics, they mentioned that he had, 10,000 calories at breakfast or something, but there wasn't an ounce of fat on him because he got in the pool and just swam it right off. And I'm thinking, man, imagine eating all that, probably every meal. He probably takes in 30 to 50,000 calories. But again, not an ounce of fat on him because he gets in the pool and he too, that we follow. Katina eats kilos and she's she's kind of a professional eater. She goes all these places and, you know, does these food challenges, but she's also a professional bodybuilder. So, you know, because I look at her and I'm like, how is she not like 4,000 pounds? And it's because she knows what to do. She can balance, you know, like maybe she doesn't. So, you know, then you have Georgie here who, yeah, she needs to compete. So she was trying to get in shape, you know, running and stuff like that. But she was neglecting other parts of stuff that she needed to do in order to stay healthy. And it caught up to her. I won that last race. You know, you were saying, one more, just win one more. Yeah, well, what if she had won that last race? Would you really have been like, yeah, we're good? Or would you then have tried to push her again? Lisa needs to be made aware. Laura needs to be fired. If she is really and truly sorry, that's fine. Then make sure it doesn't happen to any other animal. But you ain't gonna have a job. You don't deserve to have a job. At least not there. I'm a hard ass. Laura would be gone. I think Jack's gonna get in on it.
I don't want to jeopardize the quality of our beef, Tim. Things tend to go wrong when you take shortcuts. And now I am talking about the cattle ride. It's a partnership. It's interesting.
Can I talk to you? Ours looking a lot better.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Could Laura still go to the press? Yeah. I'm glad that she put in a resignation. She could still go to the press, but I think, again, Ty would be able to counter her, especially knowing about the shock therapy, because that's all he'd have to say is shock therapy. And since that's illegal, people obviously is what he did with Shooting Star. But, you know, he could intervene in other ways too if he had to. So I'm wondering, they were kind of leaving it up in the air with Georgie as to whether or not she was going to compete or go to Europe. So I guess we'll find out. And did Wyatt ever call her? Because she called Wyatt and we never heard if he called her back, so hopefully he did. And, so when Mitch was leaving, he was kind of watching them do the chicken noodle, and then when he left, Lou was kind of watching after him. But I'm thinking to myself, like it or not, Mitch, they're always still going to be a family. They're making a family meal, and Peter is in the picture because he's still the father of the children. So, and she and Peter get along. So he's going to have to deal with that. And for some people, they wouldn't be able to handle that. And Lou obviously is not over him being engaged to Maya. Even though she said she was going to let it go. It's like, Lou, you can't let anything go. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button and subscribe for more content. If you can, please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Link to my editors in the description. Please hire her for your editing needs. And if you can, please support me and buy me a coffee. I know money is tight for everyone, but I could really use your help if possible. But if not, hey, you know what? You're here, you're watching me film these reactions to a show that I genuinely love. As I love it so much, I got my own little Heartland mug. I'm getting more Heartland merchandise because I truly love this show. So thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a great day, great week, great month, great year, whatever. I hope life treats you well. Y'all stay safe and everything. Let's have a conversation down in the comments, really about anything. Love to be able to talk with you guys. And I'll see you for episode 10. 2 episodes left of season 12. Bye.